Before we get into today's video, I just want to announce that I have a coffee. If you want to buy me a coffee with milk and sugar, then go on ahead. If you want to support me on making videos as a living, then go on ahead. Anyway, now onto the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, RomanceWriter1 here, and we're going to do something different. This is not really a reaction video, this is more of a commentary video of the Equestrian Law & Order pilot. This was something I had planned for a while, but I just never got round to it because, like I've said, I have a real life, I have a job, and I have been working on stuff and all that, but it's just been very difficult because when you're juggling a job, you're also juggling projects. It's not easy, especially when it's a job that is physically tiring and sometimes even mentally tiring. So I'm going to do a commentary on the Equestrian Law & Order pilot. I don't know if I'll pause in between bits, to give out a bit of trivia and stuff, but I don't know. I might be pointing out some references here and there, because I remember in the references in the Equestrian Law & Order pilot video, I did miss, I think I missed a reference in there, but I can't remember. I haven't watched the video in a while. So, yeah, and apologies if my voice goes really high, and my OBS decides to lower it down, because it has a habit of doing that when I go high pitch, like really, really high. So, without further ado, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, let's play.
Justice system. Any crime committed is especially heinous.
And right off the bat, we have an amazing voice actor called Thomas Medham. Medham? I think is how you say it. Medham? I asked him to be the narrator for the start of the episodes because he's an amazing voice actor, and yeah, he said he wasn't getting enough voice roles. So I decided to ask him to do it. And right off the bat, you can see my editing is not as great as it used to be.
Here's to celebrate the defeat of T-Rex, Chrysalis, and Cozy Glow.
Yeah, alright, yeah.
Editing our voices together when, we're all saying stuff at the same time has always been fun. You'll see later on. And this was when Iceheart had her factors from Lightning Bliss, until she asked me to do the ones from Mysteria Phantom. But because there was only about 5 or 6 from Lightning Bliss, it was really, you could notice there's not a lot of movement up until a later scene.
What was that?
Should we check it out?
Yeah, we should.
And I know Robert Who sounded really monotone in this episode, but I wasn't too bothered.
Some pony's been murdered! By who?
I think it's obvious who did this. Just need to know where he's gone to.
And a reference to something I don't like bringing up, so I'm not gonna.
To your friends? Yep. And is always wielding a knife? That would be the one.
He was a nice reference at the time.
Pretty much kills random ponies.
But you see, he would have stabbed them in the back. This mare has been stabbed in the heart.
But pretty much ruling out a suspect.
This mare's reputation, but they knew her personally.
That was something I looked up because I noticed this is true. Years ago when I played Sims 2, they always had these quiz things going on, I believe, and there was something like a stab to the heart. I think that meant the affair thing going on in The Sims 2, so I decided to use that. And I had to look it up to make sure I was correct. Like, does it mean destroy reputation, or does it mean something personal? And it does mean something personal. And now we get to the intro, and I was really sad I couldn't use the Law & Order theme. I was really upset because I got copyright claimed for this until, they were like, bunch of months there, oh, you could just use it. but I've decided not to risk it, and I forgot what the name of this music was, so I'm going to be using another song in the next episode. I just haven't decided what. I want to get something that's really exciting, action. Even if this is not entirely action, because I'm not that great at editing action scenes. It was fun at the time, and I'm going to change this all visually as well, especially because I'm mostly using the editor vectors instead of ones that were by Kimmy Art, and maybe the ones by Robert Hu, I'm not sure.
What can we do now?
I wish there was a play going on, preferably on Les Mares or McPole.
I think I was watching a lot of Marzipan's TGIF series and just went, yeah, fuck it, I'm just going to be like, I want to see Macbeth.
DNA testing can take a very long time to complete.
I think this is one thing I never really got into, was the DNA testing stuff.
Enough true crimes to know that.
Just because you've some years' experience of reading on crime doesn't make you an expert in it.
Maybe so, but
No buts.
What I started saying is pretty true. It doesn't make me an expert. I mean, I like the genre, but damn, I'm not an expert in it. And you can see right off the bat, Aspen's, before her design got changed, and I've got our new vectors, the magic aura has changed. Because I don't know how to edit magic aura moving in time with the horn, because when I do it, it always comes really off. It's like when I'm levitating with objects, which is why I add magic aura in preview or Medibang I don't have too much of a hard time. I only did this a couple times in this episode actually where I didn't do that.
The next train to Canterlot, or we could all get teleported there at the same time.
And then we do the Princess Celestia thing. I'm not sure I'll do this again in future.
unfortunately, I can only teleport myself. I still haven't succeeded in teleporting another pony with me.
Bit of lore about how powerful my OC is in Magic. I've tried to not make her OP like I used to in roleplays and stuff. So I'm trying not to do that because, you know, people don't like that. And I do apologize when these scenes go very long because none of us are off screen. And this was before I did the fade-in effects and shit.
Hiding behind a curtain when she performed.
Kind of a reference to Sia, if you think about it. I don't know what I was thinking. And then, of course, we have Celestia, voiced by Heartsy Artsy, and she might come back as Celestia, but I don't know. Maybe she'll appear as another character. She was I only asked her to be Celestia because Transformer Brett said, "Oh, she's a really good Celestia actress."
Should we try and solve it ourselves?
So I chose to go for Heartsy.
What? I'm always on adventures with the Elements of Good Spirit. And
Elements of Good Spirit was a group of friends that was a group, like a group story that friends and I did. I'm no longer with them, but, you know, things happen, you move on and stuff like that. And I don't want to talk about it.
yeah, but if we were investigators, we would look for enough evidence.
I like how a few times I'm always like, oh my god, police ponies do nothing. When a dog goes missing, they're like, they're adult, they'll be fine. But when, you know, all that shit.
I'm still not sure, but I'll go with it.
I'll go along with it as well.
I'm definitely going to join. What about you, Aspen?
Your Highness.
It was also very hard to have, like, Aspen, you know, express, because, you know, she's the silent character. So it's always like blink, like she's nodding.
To solve this horrendous case. Go on and capture who did it.
Yes, Your Highness.
I love that bit. Whenever I was editing it, I was like, I love it when our voices are all together. When we're going, yes, Your Highness.
Let's see. According to the files we have on Sugar Song, she was about 21 years old and was originally from Manhattan.
She ran away from home at 16, and her parents reported her as a runaway, but she hadn't been found until we discovered her.
How was she identified? There wasn't any news in the newspaper that some pony identified her. Probably rich ponies who do not want to have their names in the news.
Did she happen to have a special sun pony? Or any...
Yeah, there are some things I did not get into. See, this is a hard thing with trying to do a Law and Order parody. Kind of with the comedy of NCIS.
Alright.
There are some continuity errors there.
Let's go.
Again, doesn't every story have continuity errors? Ah, Skyheart scene.
Hey, Sky!
Oh, hey,
Gotta
Red.
do see some Lefty. We've got Misty. We
just
have.
wanted to ask you
We
if
do
you
have
could
Kimyar and
tell me
Snoopy
what
77 coming
happened
by.
too long ago.
And Sonic and Twilight also came by.
Because I'm a changeling and I can turn into different creatures.
I just had to do something like this with Sky. I know he's not actually.
Just wanted to ask
Well,
you a few
okay. She's not
questions.
actually a changeling. Because he was changed into it. So I was trying to do something like this. Also, it would have been funny, like, oh, you think because I'm a changeling that I'm a suspect.
Wait, Ice.
Now, Iceheart being the tough character was always the fun thing to write. Because she's small, but
Did you have to knock
she's
me
small,
first,
but
guys?
Oh,
she's a tough cookie.
clumsy. Now tell us, why the hey did you
So
want
writing her scenes was always a blast. And some of the things were also her idea. Because whenever she asked me about scripts, she'd be like, oh, can I say
I
this?
think we were asking you all because you're a changeling.
That is so.
Now, the moving with the camera and with the factors is so difficult to do. It really is. So I apologize if it does, like, move, and even though the character stops, the camera still moves for a couple seconds.
Now, if you'll excuse
I'm
me,
trying my best. I am. It's just difficult.
That was a total bust.
I still have a feeling he knows something about Sugar Song.
Because why else?
Yeah, when you're not cooperative, it's instant you know more than you do. Which is like every Law and Order episode if you think about it.
considering he's a changeling,
Where it's always, oh, they don't want to cooperate. They gotta know more than they're letting on.
even objects. What about you, Stone? You a changeling?
Okay, that bit. And it is a reference to changelings can turn into objects.
Let's not jump
So,
to conclusions.
not a bad theory, actually. That they could be an object, a spying on you. That, you know, kind of think of it, that makes it really scary.
So she wouldn't be recognized.
But who is her manager? Maybe they would.
That was a bit I never, there's so many bits I never got into, I'm sorry. Because this whole episode was rushed, because I wanted to get it out and all that.
Judging by where the knife was.
It's like my other dramas where I rushed episodes. Except I wasn't going to rush the fourth one, but, you know, that got cancelled. The whole thing got cancelled, so yeah. Sad because there was like new stuff in there.
Especially because the press probably don't have all the info to publish it unless some pony leaks it to them.
Paparazzi. Who thought it was a good idea to have them exist?
I and I on the same page about paparazzi. I fucking hate them too. It's like Daily Mail, that's all you ever see about celebrities. Oh, they're out shopping. They're doing something normal.
Or who
Yeah, that's
it
news.
is.
We should stop for lunch. I'm starting to get hungry.
I agree. I need to eat more anyway.
Kind of reference to me in real life, I'm
Say
skinny.
no more. You're not you when you're hungry.
Ugh.
I don't know why it was funny for me to write that in the fucking script. I was like, oh my god, we gotta do it. We need more comedy in the reference at least.
No. I'm not a big fan of the Hayburgers there.
Wonder why Sarah's not a fan of Hayburgers.
Go to. The gelatos there are the best.
This is a reference to something I did in a couple roleplays where my OC sometimes hangs out at this Italian-style restaurant in Canterlot. I think for now, because of my job, I'm gonna have it that she sometimes works there.
Absolutely.
That she works there as well. Apart from being a Law and Order detective, she also kind of works there.
I suppose we could go and eat there, but it is a bit expensive considering that Camelot is a pretty upper class town.
Well, it is a bit expensive, but I'll pay. When the waiters are in a good mood, they sometimes.
Why does Iceheart look like, oh, she's gonna pay?
Please give it a chance. I know.
I like how Iceheart also, I intended for Iceheart to do the pouty face, like, come on, can we do it, please?
Choose a restaurant or just stand here and say all the negatives of each one. Come on, I'm hungry.
As everyone knows, Iceheart's the more angry of the whole group. Apart from Sour, whenever any of us are having an argument, which we will get into, because they were my favorite scenes.
Woo! I mean,
When have I ever been this excited
promise it'll be great.
to go to a restaurant? Never. I'm never like that excited, come on. Not very Italian, but fuck it. I had to look for food stuff, okay?
Pretty good. I had no idea the waiter would be so excited to see you.
Oh, Cambriere? Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Cameriere does actually mean waiter in Italian. Hence he's called Cameriere because he's a waiter.
Waiter. Funny, right?
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
I forgot to ask, what is taking Robert so long? He said he had to get something.
I love Sour's face. He's like, oh, fuck's sake, he is taking a long time. She's right.
Something at the shop, it doesn't
We're
take
all
long.
unamused, aren't we?
Not that crowded.
Hey guys, sorry for taking so long.
Where were you?
What were you doing?
I like how I'm the one starting all the shit. Like, you're being suspicious?
Any pony shady, I will get a police pony on you, mister.
Wait, what? Romance, you know me for about 3 or 4 years.
I can't even fucking remember how long it's been.
What took you so long?
I can't remember how long it's been since Robert and I have known each other. I guess probably 2017, 2018, perhaps. So kind of
Seriously, Robert?
4 or 5 years at the time when we recorded our lines, which was 2021. So,
Look at their appearance or hear their voice?
I don't really know. They just said
I think I've done Robert, who's probably the one with the shortest attention span. He's kind of like being confronted by someone. He zones out for 1 minute and they're like, here you go.
Horn then. Or maybe a pony that has magic but doesn't have a horn. A little like an old friend of mine, Transgamer. Or Discord.
Did you happen to catch the magic aura color by any chance?
it was light blue color. I don't think.
Does anyone notice like the notebook stuff? They are used a couple times. I think we'll use them in future episodes. That does look like we're focused on Cameron, but it's because my OC's turned about. Also, this is a reference to me doing art pieces. Whenever I'm making someone an OC, or I'm going to do a magic aura color, I'm always very specific about what color. You can't say just blue, because then I'm like, yeah, okay, but what kind of blue? Light blue. Okay, which shade of light blue do you want? That blue? Okay, I'll make that your magic aura. That's how I did it for Twilight recently, when I was like, okay, what's your magic aura color? Because I want to put you in this thumbnail for Cult of the Lamb. So, yeah.
This is magic to turn into a unicorn.
I know my friend Brett has a blue aura, but it isn't a light color, more of an aqua blue. And obviously not Johnny, because orange aura.
Yeah, I'm referencing to Johnny Fireflame, who has an orange aura. And, oh, here we go. The chase scene.
Excuse me, miss?
We got a runner.
Let's get it.
Has anyone... that doesn't happen in every Law and Order episode, though. Very few times now.
Okay, seriously?
I feel like the pacing of this was way, way, way too quick. And also the running stuff, I can't do what Lightning Bliss can do because I think she uses a different program. I use Final Cut Pro.
I won't leave you behind.
Ugh, fine. But
I like to keep the backgrounds a bit there and then have them juk 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 juk. I know it repeats now and again because that is what's happening.
Wow, she ain't stopping.
But
How long do we have to keep
yeah, it's the only way to do a running scene, you know? And I did not intend for her to look like Rarity, okay? That was not my intention. The purple is meant to symbolize that she thinks she's royalty. Because remember, we do find out a bit of her backstory.
Cash. Aspen.
Guys?
I like how Cameron's the first one to go, where are the other two?
Cameron, I'm very sure maybe when the suspect threw fruit and vegetables at them, they...
I know it's very silly that my OC got smacked in the face with a tomato.
Cameron.
I just couldn't find a way to have it, you know, I couldn't do that. It was more like, right in the head.
It's alright. Same with me. Come on. Let's get this mare back to the apartment for interrogation.
How we got her back,
They're coming with us.
I
Again?
never really explained. I guess we just kind of dragged her, you know? I mean, she could have used her magic, but I guess not.
I don't know why you wanted to talk to me.
And this is Crystal Rose, voiced by Viola Rules.
Tell us why.
And she voiced more than one character, and I think she'll appear for future episodes, because she did amazing. She auditioned for it, and as soon as I heard it, I heard the voice, I was like, oh my god, yes.
I swear I haven't.
Viola is going to be in this episode. And this was the first time I actually tried a magic aura on an object and edited in Final Cut Pro and move it at the same time.
Want to explain it?
This is kind of a reference to the criminal case games, I think I mentioned it before, where you need at least one photo clue, because the suspect, one of the suspects is either lying,
Why don't you tell us
or it turns out they're hiding something more personal. This, it's more personal.
Just to make me look bad.
And except in this case, she doesn't even try to fucking admit it. She tries to deny the whole thing. Criminal case, they're just like, oh, you find that picture, I thought I ripped it up.
That you killed her with a knife to the her so you can hurt her even more like she did to you?
Stop it!
That was an earthquake effect I used on her because you know she's like, she's holding it back.
Like to be the older sister, and your family never pays attention to you. Only to your younger sister that is smarter than you.
This is kind of, I know it's a lot, I'm gonna say, a lot of this is like Law and Order. It's always a suspect has the sad backstory, and it turns out the victim might not be as good as you think.
Of course we love you.
Okay, and I made her jump a bit, like, I'm crazy, kind of thing, but I guess that didn't work.
You may not believe it, but I have a sister, well, stepsister, who is a fool.
I'm kind of getting into personal feels over here.
She's in magic school.
I don't really feel it as much, maybe a little bit, but not like as much, but hey, it happens. We all get jealous of a sibling, don't we?
Gets her anything she wants. Well, when I do that, I'm told off for being incredibly spoiled.
Based on stuff that actually happened.
On her heart, because that's where Sugar Song was stabbed.
Quite a
We
coincidence.
know it symbolizes ruining some pony's reputation.
And this is just like the criminal case thing, where it always there's a mark. There's always a mark on the body that the victim was killed in. And it's on the photo, so that's kind of a good timing.
Sorry to interrupt, but you two really need to see this.
We should have someone in the room.
Just give me a second.
Did something happen here?
From what I could see, she could relate to
I'm about to get to one of my favorite scenes. I know it's a really sad scene, but then it goes like that.
her home life before.
Yeah.
I like how Aspen has. Oh yeah, she's like, you're supposed to fucking tell them the information. God, get your head in the game, Sour.
Skyheart and Sugar Song.
What sort of information? If it's something like Sky is a relative to me all because we have heart in our names, I will be disappointed.
I like how Sky, I think he asked me this in Discord, and was like, why would she be disappointed with that? And I'm thinking, no, she's just annoyed because you both have heart in your names. If it turns out you're relatives, that's gonna be really bloody weird. But I think that's what I said.
He was a Pegasus?
What a twist!
Whoa, hold the f*** up. Skyheart used to be a...
Okay, from now on, we're not gonna censor, okay?
That was quick.
There may be kids watching, good. Hey, don't kids watch this kind of stuff anyway, uncensored?
Language.
I like how them two are just like, they're about to fight now. They're about to fight.
Bring it on then.
My favorite scene.
Take
One of them.
No, take
I like how Aspen has seen some shit.
That's my hair, not my bow. Do not touch my bow. No.
Fine.
This was all improvised. Especially, I never said what to put. I didn't say what to put in the script. I mean, Iceheart and I, when we do fight scenes, we improvise what we say. So me shrieking, going, and getting attacked was improvised.
That's enough, you two.
One of the few times Sour actually yells.
Yes.
You two better start behaving yourselves,
I know I keep saying it, editing voices together is fun.
Fine.
Especially because us two are like sisters. We're like, fine, yeah.
Who could it be? We weren't expecting any pony.
It is apartment ballet sound effects I find.
Hey, it's Skyheart.
I think that was a radio effect for Skyheart's voice on there.
Sure.
It's kind of like, you know, those camera things. Whenever they just go, hi, it's me, can I come in?
I had to knock out of the sky.
Just don't do it again, Ice. If you were told
Poor
off for
Iceheart.
no reason, then
She's
that's
like,
fine.
oh my god, you annoyed me so much. So she gets told off. She goes all sad. It's so cute. The pouty face. I know it looks like cutting whenever I'm moving this. Whenever I cut out, I'm so sorry. I know it's distracting.
Cup of coffee. I'll need it.
And when does Iceheart drink coffee? I don't know.
Is this a bad time?
By the way, fun fact, when I was editing Sky's lines, one of them was kind of...
Suspect and we were about
One of the files, I think, was kind of messed up. Like, it would lower his voice really fucking low, and I
Unknown pony or creature.
couldn't really fix it, so there were some bits I had to cut out, unfortunately.
It's that I never told you.
But I think the episode still worked without him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, time. This was Iceheart's idea.
My mother was a princess and...
This bit was Iceheart's idea. She said put that in.
Oh, for Celeste's Yes.
I know you can kind of see me just
Anyway,
rolling about shrieking. That was because I spun my OC about and I had her like zooming up and down, up and down. You don't really see where she lands, so I had to figure out, where am I gonna put her and who do I put her behind and who does she go in front? Because it's very difficult to do that when you're in a crowd bit, because you don't want to look like you're kind of on top of someone when you're supposed to be up behind them when you're like floating. It's very distracting.
Oh, that. She used a spell that would remove her horn, so she only
It
had
doesn't
her
seem
wings.
noticeable, but that was a cutting bit in the audio because he had a bit of a stutter there, so I cut the stutter bit and put the good bit in together with the audio, so it doesn't sound like it's a blooper, like her horn, but kind of like that.
A few years after I became a changeling, she suffered a stroke. And 17 days before her forming Eve,
I actually had to use his backstory that he has on his Twitter to actually get this
I
scene.
know how it feels when a parent gets sick, and it's very worrying.
This was reference to something that happened to Cameron in real life.
I apologize.
And Cameron does vent to me, if he needs to, and I might not vent to him, but he always shows me good stuff, and he's my little bro, my little Red Ranger bro. So, he told me about it, and it was referenced in a skit. And a skit I've now deleted, which I might remake.
Can you pretty please tell me how you
I know the factors for Robert Who don't work. He sounds all monotone. I'm sorry. I didn't want to bother him. I think he was already busy and dealing with personal stuff, so I didn't want to bother him again about his recording.
Calm down and let Sky explain himself.
I like how they just shut him up like,
one day I was saving her from falling into a stream because she dropped her ball. This unicorn named Sliderways, who was a bully, cast a curse on me which requires a verbal password to undo it. Unfortunately, it turned me into a more handsome changeling.
No wonder Serena's dating him. He is cute.
Just look at him.
She's gonna fucking murder me if she sees me. If she sees this video, she's gonna kill me now.
Well, that certainly was a very interesting story.
That does explain how you're a changeling, and you're not one of the once changeling queen's children.
I wonder what that verbal password would be. Guess we'll never know.
It was a possible foreshadowing of a supervillain, Sour. Nah, I'm kidding. Sour's not gonna turn bad. Not like Chester Lake in the actual Law and Order series. I'm still upset about that, how they just wrote him off.
Plans on who to prank and what it shall be. But I won't tell you.
I'm the only one. Me and Isar and I are the only ones glaring. Cameron just looks confused. Sour's like traumatized. Husband just didn't change at all.
Before we let you go home, can you tell me where you were on the day your sister was killed?
I was at home in Canterlot. I live in a big house with my mother, who is very sick.
Is there any pony that can verify your alibi?
I think when I tried to make her more of a suspect, it was based on my favorite episode of Law and Order, which was in season 3. So my favorite season 3 episode, if I get to rewatch the whole series again, I'll have to figure out what is my favorite episode in each season. I have to try not to go like top 5 or anything, because episode 21 of season 3 would be my favorite in the top. If it was like a top 5, it'd be in number 1 spot, definitely. Because I did a review of it. Unfortunately, you can't find it because it's been blocked. So the only time you could do it was with the premiere, so only a few people got to see it.
Like her, hire some pony like that.
Maybe she found an ad for one.
Okay, I think the hip pony stuff I did not think of too great. I didn't think of too well.
Unless a pony that knows her had told her about one and could
Again, I don't know how Law and Order do it. I'm not a Law and Order writer. I'm nor my producer, nor my director.
That's why, while Robert, Aspen, and I try and find more evidence about this, Ice, Cameron, and Romance will go to Crystal's home to see if her alibi checks out.
Yep, just take a sheet of paper and just try and find out any more information, eh, Sour? So I think out of everybody, Sour is definitely Benson.
Easy to solve.
Then again, I always put him as Benson in the skit, so. There's Supermoy, there's Serena. Serena was in the background before, so it's the second time she's appeared.
Yeah, good point. Just wish serial killings were easy to get, especially with the ones that haven't been caught.
Doing the OCs in the background walking was very hard.
He was caught a few years ago after being on the run.
This is a reference to the Golden State Killer, which I did mention before. I had to look really closely in the information to make sure I was correct. Like, was he a police officer during the time he did the serial killings, and then, you know, he got arrested?
Unless the suspect is a police officer themselves.
But, you know.
Protect their... Sister, get in the force field!
I loved using effects on everyone's voices, like especially when they're in the force field. And it's my first time my OC is using a force field. And I use a glow effect because when my OC's aura is glowing, it means, you know, she's being really powerful.
Okay, fine. But if you get shot in any way, don't say that Cameron and I didn't tell you so.
Yep, that's... Like I said, the rushing, it's so rushed. I think when I have to do suspects, I'm going to have to do really, really well. Because on the next episode, I'm only on a bit where my OC is dealing with a personal problem based on something that happened in real life. So it's going to be something like, I will say this, it's like an episode where we're all short on detectives, and the limited ones have to fucking get this case solved, while a few of us are absent for reasons. Three of them actually. 3 of us will be absent, while the other 3 all have to solve it themselves, with possible help.
Carriage pony or whatever. You go down there by yourself.
I'm 2 years older than you, and the older sister is usually the one in charge.
No,
It is kind of true. The older sister is usually in charge, Iceheart. Hence, why do you think Iceheart is such a stubborn little mare whenever it comes to anything we do?
So, what happened here?
Sword Sniper tried to take a shot. Not sure.
Why is it when Cameron yells, he always sounds like a rad dude? I mean, he does say stay rad. He always sounds like a rocker, doesn't it? I'm a rocker. I'm no offense to him or anything. It's actually very funny to listen to.
You heard her. Let's get to work. The faster we do this, the
I
faster
did
we'll
forget to
find
mention
the chorus
earlier,
of the song.
that is like me with alibis. I'm like, alibis don't mean shit. They could be a lie. Like, maybe they hired someone to kill the person while they had a supposed alibi.
It's a shame about what you
Yeah, and this is Viola Rules again. Playing as Ruby Song.
Acting different before she was murdered. Any unusual behavior?
Playing as Ruby Song, and yeah, once again she auditioned. I'm like, you know what? You're allowed to be an actress and have more than one role. You're allowed. And the images in the background, I was trying to hint of how strained the relationship is and why Crystal Rose had a kind of a vendetta.
I haven't.
What was that?
Nothing, Mom.
Yeah, I did. That was a pony career design, but I drew the suit on and the wings, and the bags under the eyes. Now this bit I think was very obvious. If you heard what the voice actor is, you would know who the changeling is. But then again, this is after Friendship is Magic ended, so it could be anyone, right? There were a few vectors I missed from Ruby's song, especially open mouth ones, so I felt really bad.
We found photos in her saddlebag.
Also, Aspen was writing notes down. I don't think I ever showed that. Family drama.
Barely ever kept an eye on me. All you cared about.
Yeah, so basically, this kid is supposedly neglected, and I know her cutie mark moves a little bit. I think that's because I was missing them a couple times when I was putting them on. I was putting it on preview, so yeah.
Heck, I've to take care of you ever since you were diagnosed, and you show no respect. You're my daughter. I never left you to the.
I like how I love Sour's face. He's like, shit, this is going down.
To your own father's funeral. Instead, you hung out with your so-called friends. It's her fault that Father.
I will say, Crystal Rose may look like she's, you know, she's the good kid, but then it turns out she was just hanging with the bad crowd.
I think it's best that we leave since this is clearly a family matter. Thanks for answering what we asked. We'll be in touch if we find anything else.
I also like the butler lines because, you know, he's not a typical butler. And also, I did the noises because, well, Skyhard didn't really do them, so I decided to put them in myself. And it would make more sense for it to be in there because, you know, he's whispering to Aspen.
Was it something to do with Crystal Rose?
Bit of charades, attempted charades.
Sort of.
It's kind of like she is nodding if you think about it. She's like, oh, right over there.
Her mother said she would be with her so-called friends. Let's go ask some ponies.
But then again, maybe this crowd isn't as bad. Her mom's just like that kind of snobby mother, you know, oh my god, they're not rich.
That's the gun going off to the scientist, and hopefully we'll be given the results in a short time.
Yeah, this, like I said, analytics. I did not fucking do it correctly with this.
Clarified it to Aspen. We thought her mother would, but it turned more into a family argument between mother and daughter.
What was the argument about exactly?
Over how Ruby's song always paid attention to Sugar because she was destined to be a star like her mother used to be.
Yeah, so obvious child favoritism. I would say Crystal Rose probably had a great singing voice, but, you know, she was pushed to the side, and the younger sister always gets the attention. Because, you know, it's like older sibling, you got the baby sibling, they gotta have more attention than the older sibling, so jealousy.
Would be seen talking across the street over there. I think we should ask any pony who has seen them together the day Sugar was killed.
Sounds like a good idea, but is it gonna be a tiny bit difficult?
Yeah, but if we get this to the public, some tips might come in. All detectives do it, even if it is risky.
Once we get back to the apartment, we'll get
Maybe that's why some cases are not solved.
Any pony had seen her a few days before.
And this is the scene where I had more of Iceheart's factors from Lightning Bliss.
I don't recognize her.
Alright, thank you, sir.
Sparrow's gonna appear in the next episode, that's for sure.
Have you seen this pony before? Specifically, a few days ago?
But yeah, this was the scene where the Lightning Bliss factors. Oh look, that's Sonic and I with our daughter. Anywho, sorry. Ah, there you go. See, Aspen's writing in a notebook. I think that's the detective she'd be. She's always writing in a notebook.
It was a circle with a line across it, like those
but yeah, I think at that time Iceheart got more of the factors from Lightning Bliss. So I started to use them more in the later scenes. I really wish I kept them, but then Iceheart got the ones from Misty, so, you know, I had to... See how much more expressive she gets here?
We looked through the records of groups with that symbol, and this one called a shot to the heart was what came up.
I love that bit where she's like, ah, fuck's sake, I knew I shouldn't have said that.
Said she saw. They don't make their members public at all.
Does anything hint where they reside?
I don't see anything on that.
Well, secret groups are secret. They don't really reveal where they are unless you're like, oh, hey, could I apply for this job, please? Yes, meet us in the basement and we'll give you a test.
And then somebody dies.
Me showing off my mafia stuff. I do have a server that is like that is supposed to be based on my mafia persona, Ponysona.
We'll need to find out.
I might do skits on that where it's like, you come into the family, you fuck it up, you are going to be fed to the pigs. You know, kind of like that. This moment.
Yes.
Well, they may or may not have had a similar symbol.
Everyone's faces.
What?
Oh, yeah. Alright, here we go.
Tell us before.
Robert, I'm
If you're wondering who was pulling me back there, it was Aspen.
Small punishment,
I think that's kind of obvious if you look at everybody. Because Sour's magic isn't on, and Aspen's the other one with a horn. And the last we'll see of Robert. He will come back.
Come on, every pony. Let's get to finding out where this group is and which...
If Cameron's audio sounds completely different at points, it's because some of the lines he was missing, so I had to ask him to record them.
Please.
Oh, like how Iceheart just wants to fucking do it, but everyone's like, no.
You try and apply with this group. We want them to not be suspicious, and considering we're not a police group.
And also, it's kind of odd that I'm the one with a disguise kit, and yet I don't even like makeup.
Like some pony who wants to be a fellow hit pony. I don't even look or sound like a tough mare.
That's why I'll help you.
That's why you're supposed to put that tough voice on.
Well, it's not easy, but after a lot of practice.
But at the same time, does the voice really fucking matter? Is it the way? Is it the more the resume you gotta be?
Remember, Romance. If any pony innocent or Iceheart gets killed, it'll be on you.
I think you should have said if someone gets hurt, Sour, don't be a little killjoy.
Come on, time for a few.
Damn it, Sour. That's gonna be damn it, little bro. Little lemon bro. Sour. He's sour. Oh, shut the fuck. Oh, shut up.
Seriously, once this is all done and we catch this guy, it will take.
I just noticed a bit of the audio was faded there, but oh well. I noticed I talked a bit too loud for the walkie-talkie bit. I apologize if I hurt your ears.
Where all she wore was a hat and no pony recognized her despite seeing her cutie mark and mane and tail.
But yeah, I like Iceheart's disguise. It took me quite a while to actually. Oh yeah, I think I noticed a bit was kind of missing that I didn't use the paint bucket on.
You see any pony yet?
Here we are.
I got a visual.
There's a villain.
The cloak and everything, including the symbol.
Oh yeah, like I mentioned, she was supposed to have like a fake tattoo on her cheek with like a arrow to the heart kind of thing. But I decided, you know what, it just doesn't fucking work.
You must be the pony that wanted to...
And this one's voiced by Thomas Mettam as well.
What's the name again?
Yes.
Apart from that he could be the voiceover in the start, I decided... I loved editing Iceheart in this bit where she's like winking like, I'm totally in disguise.
Oh, well, thank you. You're not bad yourself. Not one I'd try and kill.
I like your stuff.
Yeah, so Thomas was also this OC, and yeah, I wanted Thomas to get more voice roles. He did tell me at the time he hasn't been able to get more voice roles because no matter how many times he auditions, he never gets the roles, and I get where he's coming from because I've had the same thing. Like, there were times I thought I did okay with an audition, but someone's friend gets the role instead, which then I'm just kind of like, okay, if you wanted your friend to be the character, why'd you have a casting call then? And also, it's already sus that he's reading a newspaper.
So far, so good. All we need now is just for a taped confession to happen. Let's keep near where they're going next.
I miss Iceheart's Lightning Blast Vectors. I'm so sorry. Okay, getting all this to move perfectly was hard.
First question. When was the last time
I think Thomas told me he was trying to do a Sideshow Bob kind of voice whenever he was doing the voice.
I grabbed a syringe that was filled with poison, jabbed it into his chest.
Wow, that sounds incredibly epic. And how did you get away with it?
I burnt the body and the syringe in an incinerator.
This was back then when I used to play Yandere Simulator. I don't know if I'll ever go back to it, but I don't know. Ever since I got my job, there's just some things I just don't want to do anymore.
Final question. Are you able to keep a secret? Because you
yes!
Really
I mean, I can keep a secret, Iceheart can keep a secret.
Absolutely.
And do you have any questions?
Well, there is one I want to ask.
Alright. Hopefully a confession is going to come in.
If not, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Oh, and here comes Sour with the burn.
Everything does. Ow! What was that for?
I love how last bit I have the same faces. I mean, we do have, well, okay, both of us had the editor vector, so we both have the same face, and it's actually very funny. And we were supposed to hoof bump in the end, but I couldn't find a really good expression with her having her hoof up, so I decided, you know what, we're just gonna smirk.
And I held her still while I stabbed her with a knife through her heart. That's what my sister wanted.
Now we need a name, and that'll be a full confession that will hold up.
I don't know how that's not a full confession.
Is ever right?
Her name?
Originally, I was going to do court case stuff, but I don't know shit about court case stuff.
Go, go, go!
But I don't know anything about court case stuff.
You're not gonna tell a soul.
Of course. Except to my friends and my big sister.
I'm sorry, what? You're a spy?
There was so much peeking. I had to do so much limiter.
For the murder of
I had to do so much limiter in Laura's voice. It's a funny reaction. Like, what? You're a spy? That was funny. That was hilarious. Good job, Thomas.
Crime to do a job? My boss is going to kill me!
Well, murder is a crime. Do you not?
Yeah, guess what? Murder's a crime, you crime idiot.
You have no sympathy for what you did. Do you?
I am shocked I didn't smack Sarah in the head.
By murdering an innocent pony? All for 3 million bits?
Yeah, yeah, 3 million bits. I don't know, I would have gone for 5.
Elsewhere. If I didn't, that rich man was going to rat me out and my boss would kill me!
I kinda... Oh, he's showing he's a coward now. I did make the villain obvious, but then again, remember how Law & Order usually do it, where they already have a suspect, you know they're guilty, but we gotta build it up. It's like my favorite episode. Here we go.
I never thought a butler would be right about Crystal Rose. Normally it's the whole, oh, the butler...
Random conversation. And like Ice Heart's blinking reaction, she's like, oh, fuck's sake.
I thought you'd show up after the court case. It seems off to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go, yeah, about that, but the audio was kind of off, so I decided to cut that bit.
I forget. You're a changeling.
Why is Ice Heart always the one ready to have a fucking argument? She's always like, hold me back, hold me back.
Suspicious of Crystal Rose a lot ever since Sugar Song was found dead. Her butler had died the week before from an accident, so I took his place to keep an eye on her. Lots of fun, I gotta say.
And how did they...
Yeah, of course he would say that. Yeah, it was a little fun.
They thought their butler was on a vacation and had just come back.
And how are you not gonna have Ruby Song suspicious that you are gone?
Letter of resignation.
Kinda works, I guess. Yeah, thank you, Sky.
The family for a few decades. It's not that.
Come on, guys. We need to get...
Yeah, and he was meant to keep on going, but he gets cut. Instead. I think that works. Epic run scene. First time I kind of made her up and down, up and down.
Mrs. Song! What's the matter? Where's Crystal Rose?
Okay, I understand this bit was very fucking rushed too.
Rose is dead.
But, I was thinking of an episode where, you know, the pretty much the killer is dead.
I knew this would happen.
I think it was Sky's idea. I think it was Sky's idea to have the mother know it was her daughter the whole fucking time. She didn't want to do anything. And I was thinking about my favorite episode of Law & Order, where, you know, the grandmother knew that her daughter had killed her grandchild. But she didn't say anything. She pretty much swept it under the goddamn rug.
You might as well. I've got nowhere else to stay.
It's Sour, Ice, and I both have sympathy for this. Yeah, that's it. Now this, I got inspiration from a Sims 4 video maker, where she did like behind the scenes stuff, so I tried to do it that. I know it's so blurry, I am so sorry. Got Thomas Medham. Skyheart, of course I did the clone thing, like, what the fuck? Try and guess who's the real one. Didn't put a lot of Croaky Craft, but that's okay. But I think the behind the scenes stuff looks really cool. Heart. And back when Ice Heart was dating her boyfriend Dizzy. You got all the vector artists. If you hit them, I'm not coming back, unfortunately. Yep, and that took me about a year, I think, to edit. Inspired by the Lawnmower Special Victims Unit. And by series idea, I mean that, because after I did the Law and Order skip, Sour Patch was like, oh my god, we gotta make this into a series. So I decided, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do it. And I had to write this pilot, and it took forever to get done. And it's funny how the length is, because it is kind of the length of a Law and Order episode. Because whenever I write stuff and it's about 100 pages, it's about an hour long. So that's how script writing is for me. Especially when we get to about 200 pages, which is something I'm currently on. I forget how long the next episode script is at the moment. I'm not even close to the ending. We've gotten past the bit where the victim's found dead. And then one of us goes to the hospital. I'm not going to say who. But I might reveal that in the trailer when I get that done and stuff like that. But yeah, that was my commentary of the Law & Order pilot. This is my first time doing a commentary. And I don't know if this was loud enough at the same time. But if you do want to see it, you can go to the episode itself. I'll link it in the description of the video, so you can watch it. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm not sure what I'm gonna upload next. At the time of this recording, it's about 26 minutes before my 100 baby challenge and next 100 baby challenge episode gets scheduled for release, because it's a Thursday and it's 8:30 BST time that it happens, and then it's 10:30 BS time for the new Chris Chronicles episode to also come out, and I don't know where I'm gonna get those done, because the next time I'm off at the time this recording is a Sunday, and I form no one to watch on that day, so maybe I'll be very happy and excited tonight. I'll be recording, I might be chipper, but I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry if the audio is not loud enough. I feel bad for apologizing the whole time, but yeah, it happens. And in case you haven't noticed, I did never put my intro or outro in this whole pilot, because first of all, this is a team effort. It's not. I know I'm putting it on my channel, but it's a group effort. Like every collab I've done is a group effort. But this is not like based on me or anything. This is based on a lot of my friends. We're all going on these adventures, these detective adventures. We're gonna have some drama and everything, and which will happen in the future episodes. I don't know if I'll have a limit of episodes, because I don't know how long this series will go on, because of real life and shit. But yeah, this is RomanceWriter1. I'm tired as hell, and I'll see you later. Bye!